Hey Aquarius, welcome to your weekly forecast for December 20th through the 26th. This is for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to check in here and see what's coming up for the Aquarius Collective. Now, I am setting the intention for December 20 through 26, but you may come across it at some other point in time, and that's perfectly fine. You're going to find it when you're meant to find it and when the messages are meant for you. Keep in mind, this is a general reading. Not every single message will resonate, but take the ones that do and leave the ones that don't. Alrighty, Aquarius, I've also done a 12-month forecast for all of 2022. If you want to check those if you want to check those out after this weekly forecast, those are linked in the description as well, where we dive into 2022. I have to say, I want to be an Aquarius for 2022. You guys seem to have a really good year ahead. But we're going to see what's happening in the week. Coming down here in the final weeks of 2021. First card is the Hermit. Now, this is a major arcana card. Anytime major arcana cards come up, at least for me in my readings, this is going to signify that this is a new chapter in our life. This is like a significant time in which we're experiencing things that we came here to experience, or master things we came here to master. So there's significant defining moments in our life where we're kind of, going into this new beginning or this important shift. And anytime that we're coming upon these kinds of energies, our angels and guides are always with us, right? If this is something you came here to learn, or if this is something you came here to master or accomplish, you can't fail. You can't. It's something you've contracted, unless you just decide to stop moving forward and you say, I'm not doing it anymore. But your angels and guides are with you, and they're going to be helping you through the transitions and helping you accomplish what you're meant to accomplish. Now, the Hermit card can indicate Virgo, right? Or it's symbolic or represents Virgo. So some of you might be dealing with a Virgo that's going to be very influential in the coming weeks or days. If you have a Virgo placement, there can be big changes happening for you in those houses or that area of your life. The Hermit card for me, obviously, traditionally, Hermit card is like spiritual teacher, coming into our spiritual awakening. You may be stepping into the path or the energy of a spiritual healer or teacher. You may be realizing that you have a lot to offer others, and you may be coming up with a way or thinking of a way in which you want to lead or inspire, help, or direct other people from the things that you have learned. But for me, in my readings, the Hermit card can indicate a person or situation. And keep in mind, in the weekly forecast, I want to focus on you. It's not going to be about love and romance so much, unless Spirit says we're talking about love and romance. Once a month, I do a love reading. That's linked in the description. But we're focusing on you here. I want this to be about you, Aquarius. So, a lot of the times, the Hermit card can come up for me when you're dealing with a person or a situation that's holding up a mirror to you. And you're getting to know yourself on a very deep level. And you're realizing things that maybe bother you. Or you're realizing certain needs that need to be met. Or certain accomplishments or evolutions you've made. How far you've come. Or certain places that maybe kind of need a little bit more healing. It can be a situation that's holding up a mirror to you or helping you understand yourself better. It is a card that traditionally can indicate like kind of withdrawing and being away from people. And that aspect of it in my readings always gives me the feeling or the sense of the little caterpillar that's gone into the cocoon, okay? It's done all of its eating, it's done all of its, storing up, and it's just kind of withdrawing and going into its cocoon to rest. So sometimes the Hermit card will come up for me in a reading when somebody's question is, where am I on my healing path? How much more do I have to go? Or what is it that I'm supposed to be doing? And the Hermit card tells me, you've done all the hard work. Now all you need is the time to just kind of rest and recuperate and go within. And just like that caterpillar does absolutely nothing but rests in that cocoon, the butterfly wings start to sprout out. right? The most powerful change, the biggest change, the biggest transformation happens as the caterpillar is simply resting from all of its little adventures preparing to go into the cocoon. So for me, it's like all you need to do right now is just rest, process what you've been through, give yourself time to rest, and allow the energy to move through and allow those wings to start sprouting. Okay, that's what it tells me. You're on your path. You've done the hard work, and now is the time for rest and processing. So just like that butterfly is going to break out of the cocoon and reach places and see things that the caterpillar could never even dream of, right? That's what you're storing up for. That's what you're getting ready for, right? To come out and really fly and see the world and see things and interact with people. Hermit card often also comes up to me just before, going out there and finding soul family, soul tribe. So it's a very powerful card to have starting off the week. It's a very powerful card having, coming up here as you're coming upon 2022 and a new year. In just a couple of weeks here, we're kind of coming down to the last of it. So this is powerful energy. And even though I'm reading for the 20th through the 26th, this is something that's going to be around for a while. We're not just talking about 7 days here. Okay. The next card coming up for Aquarius is the Fool. Holy cannoli. Excuse me. So, another major arcana. Now, when I have major arcana cards coming in back to back, it tells me that you're going to have really big changes in a really short period of time. And if we have other major arcana cards, that's going to be a big confirmation for us. Now, really big changes in a short period of time. This is going to be around life changes, life choices. You may be changing direction. It's a very high level of like upgrading energy, evolving, ascending. So this is like fast track to ascending, fast track to upgrading energy, fast track of clearing out, any kind of last little remnants or cobwebs here. And the Fool card gives us a feeling or sense that a lot of you are feeling led or guided to really take this leap of faith into a direction that a lot of people wouldn't expect for you to do. Okay, so like you may be deciding on doing something in your life that people would say, I would never imagine, Aquarius, that you would do that. They might even flat out tell you, I can't see you doing that, or I can't picture it. Okay, I got that a lot when I began feeling pulled towards tarot and energy healing. People were like, I can't see you doing that. I can't see you doing that. And now it's all I do. Even though I didn't set out to make it all I do, Spirit made it all I do. But you might be feeling led or guided to do something that other people don't understand, or they might be saying to you, I can't picture you doing that, or I don't know if that suits you. First and foremost, nobody can tell you who you are or what suits you. Okay? You're not who they say you are. You are who you say you are. And it doesn't matter if what you're doing goes against who they need you to be in their mind, or who is comfortable for them, for you to be, right? Sometimes people don't want us to make changes because it makes them uncomfortable. It's like, well, I need you to be the person that sits on the phone with me and listens to me tell you the same sad, unhappy situation for 2 hours a night for the past 10 years, right? Or whatever it is. Or I need you to be the shy one so I can be the confident one. Or I need you to be the boring one so I can be the adventurous one. Whatever it might be that's in their head, right? You're not here to fulfill their expectation or to be somebody that makes life more comfortable for them. You're here to be who you are. And so as the Fool card is coming up, a lot of you are stepping into that. And you're realizing that, especially with the Hermit card here. You might be going into something that has absolutely, positively nothing to do with spirituality. 0% spirituality. But it is something you came here to do, or something you came here to teach, or an experience that you came here to have. And you're beginning to see yourself in a new light. And you're like, you know what? I could do that. I totally could do that. And the Fool card is telling us that you're feeling more and more the need to take this leap of faith. Like it's getting harder and harder for you to fight it. You're like, I really want to do this. I really want to go in this new direction. This could be a massive career change for some of you. I feel some of you might even be doing something in terms of like, I keep hearing performing arts. And maybe you've tried in the past, but maybe you weren't getting certain roles, or maybe I'm getting a sense or a feeling of being in an area or community where there's a lot of politics and kind of like that kind of thing. I guess in general, yeah, it could be like any other thing. It's like who you know, or, who you kiss up to or something. And so maybe you're like, well, I'm sick and tired of trying to work within their little group or clique or their politics. And you might be putting together something completely, entirely your own, right? Where you're like, well, I'm going to find a place to do it. I'm going to find a way to get tickets out there. I'm going to find a way to advertise it. I'm going to write it, star in it, direct it. It's going to be a one-person show. I mean, some of you might be doing something really big in that way, really adventurous in that way, in which you're putting yourself out there. Obviously, not all of you are going into performing arts, but I heard performing arts, so I'm sharing it. In general, whatever this big leap of faith is, all Spirit is saying is, number one, yes, you're being guided in this direction. Yes, you're being pulled to do this. You're being called to make this big shift, this big change, to take this leap. However, the Fool card also tells us, look before you leap. Look before you leap. Okay? When I made the transition into only doing spiritual work full time and doing readings and all this stuff, Spirit told me you have to quit your job and do YouTube, start doing YouTube. I didn't want to start doing YouTube. I really did not. I was terrified of YouTube. Even when I started reading tarot, I was terrified to read tarot for people, but Spirit really pushed me. And my guides were just basically like, look, girl, if you don't quit your job and start doing the YouTube videos, we're going to give you a tower moment. And I was like, no, it's okay. My guides really know how to throw a tower moment. But even then, it was like, okay, well, what do I do? What do I do? I still have to pay bills. You know, I'll do the YouTube videos, but I'm not going to get a paycheck in my bank account the first YouTube video I post. Like, you know, what am I going to do in the meantime? And so the message that came in, basically came in for me is, I just had some side things I was doing. I was doing the psychic hotline at night when, you see the late night commercials and call now, right? I was doing the phone psychic thing. I was doing DoorDash during the day. So there was a plan. It wasn't just like, I'm going to quit my job and I'm just going to start doing YouTube. It wasn't like that. So the Fool card is asking you, what can you do? What can your transition thing be? What can your stepping stones be? What can your safety net be? Right? So you want to take the leap of faith, but you want to do it in a way that's setting you up for success, right? Where you're not freaking out, where you're not panicking. So even though you're taking a massive leap and you're being called to take this leap, you have to ask yourself, how can I make this transition? If you're not sure, ask your angels and guides for guidance. Ask them to help you come up with ideas. Ask them to help you, direct you towards how to make this change or this shift. That's what I did, right? And they were like, well, you're blessed with a car. You're going to do DoorDash for a while. And you're going to do the psychic hotline for a while. And that's how I made my transition. Your transition might look very different or be in a different way. Some of you maybe are like trying to get out of like a family business or something. And so there might be a little bit push or pull around that. But I just feel like it's getting really hard for you to say no. It's getting really hard for you to fight this pull or this call. So don't wait until you get to the point where you just can't take it anymore, and then that's your tower moment where you just all of a sudden just can't take it and you quit on the spot or something, or your living situation is so miserable that you're like, you guys have like a massive fight with your significant other or your family or your roommate or whoever you're living with. You have this massive fight, and now all of a sudden you have to, you know, be looking for a place overnight. Don't wait until it gets that intense, because the Fool card is giving me a feeling or sense that it's becoming harder for you to fight this change. The next card that's coming up here, speak of the devil, is the Tower. So unless you start taking steps towards this change, you're going to find all of a sudden you can't hold it in anymore, right? The Tower card can sometimes be a way in which we react or we break through of a situation. It doesn't always have to be something that's happening to us, or something might happen that upsets us so much where we're like, I'm out of here. I can't even deal with this anymore. And that's the vibe that I'm getting from this Tower card. I feel like it's you, Aquarius, where you're like, I'm done. I'm out. I can't. So don't wait until the last minute. Start taking the steps. Start doing what needs to be done so that you can make this transition and go in the direction in which you're being called, so that it doesn't feel so very last minute. It doesn't feel so very great, now what do I do kind of situation. Okay? Big changes in a very short period of time. We've got 3 major arcana cards back to back. And the Tower in this case, like, as I'm looking at this guy, I feel like it's you. Like, you're just like, I can't take this anymore. And you're just like jumping off the tower. Don't do that. Where are the exits? How can you get out? Don't jump off the tower, right? So I feel like this is just you, and Spirit is saying you can't keep fighting this. You can't keep fighting it. So you may as well start making plans to succeed. The next card that's coming up here is the Ace of Wands. Okay, so new opportunities coming in. A door opening, right? What did I just say? Look and see where the exits are so you can get out of there. If you start looking, you're going to find the opportunity. It's going to be handed to you. Here it is. Here's the prison break. Here's how you're going to bust out of this. Okay, so some of you might think that it's not that big of a deal, but the Ace of Wands has a tendency to come in to say that this is maybe the start of something that seems insignificant, but it's going to branch out and grow into bigger things. It's going to blossom and flourish and become something much bigger. For those of you who are not aware, I recently rescued a very large Mastiff from a shelter, so you might be hearing him in the background. He'll make funny noises. I know some people are very sensitive to background noise and they don't like it, but he's very attached to me, so he will be around. You guys will be hearing him in the background. If that bothers you, I'm sorry, but you know, he's here. He was abandoned once. I'm not gonna abandon him again. So that's something that you might be hearing in the back. So back to the Ace of Wands here. Opportunities are presenting themselves to you. Don't be quick to judge them or label them as, well, it's not that big of a deal, or I'm going to wait for something bigger. Trust that you're being presented with what you need at the right time. You're being handed what you need at the right time. All you need to do is open to receive and start looking. Start looking, start planning, and you're going to be led and directed to this change, this shift that you're being guided to make. But don't fight it, Aquarius, because you're getting to the point where you're not going to be able to much longer. And then you're all of a sudden walking out of a job or going off on somebody and saying, you know, I'm not going to be here anymore, and packing your bags, and, you know, you're like, okay, well, great. Now where do I go? Don't wait until it gets that intense, okay? You may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign. Some weeks that might resonate for you more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. Baby, now he's pushing over my table. Okay, so you can schedule a private reading at calendly.com/amethystangelite. love readings for December are linked in the description, and the 2022 12-month forecasts are also linked in the description if you want to check out the forecast for 2022. Thanks for watching, Aquarius. Take care.